Millionaire Cowboy finds freezing nurse at train station. Their love story made history. It was the winter of 1887, and a blizzard ripped through Wyoming territory, claiming lives and leaving broken hearts in its wake. At the train station in Cheyenne, a young woman sat alone on a wooden bench. Her breath billowed out in white clouds against the bitter cold. She clutched a small leather bag containing everything she owned, $3, a faded photograph, and a heart as cold as the night itself. But what happened next would become a legendary love story, changing two lives forever and making history in the untamed American West. The wind sliced through Cheyenne like a knife that December night. Elizabeth Libby Montgomery pulled her thin shawl tighter, but it did little good. Her fingers had gone numb hours ago, and her lips were turning blue. The last train had left 3 hours prior, and the next wasn't due until morning, if the storm didn't block the tracks. Back in Philadelphia, Libby had been a nurse at a charity hospital, where she learned to tend wounds and comfort the dying. But when a doctor tried to force himself on her and she fought back, breaking his nose with a bedpan, no one believed her. The hospital fired her, and the word spread. With no respectable hospital willing to hire her, she spent her last bit of money on a train ticket west, hoping to find work in a mining town. But her money ran out in Cheyenne. Now, she sat on this hard bench, wondering if she would freeze to death before dawn. Her small leather medical bag, her only true possession, sat beside her. The sound of horse hooves on the frozen ground made her look up. Through the swirling snow, she saw a large figure on horseback approaching. The man wore a heavy coat and a wide-brimmed hat. As he drew closer, she could see his magnificent black stallion. He dismounted and walked toward the station, his expensive leather boots and confident stride hinting at a man of means. "Evening, miss," he said, touching the brim of his hat as he entered. "Mighty cold night to be sitting out here alone." His voice was deep and warm, with a slight Texas drawl. Libby tried to speak, but her teeth chattered too hard. She could only nod. He studied her with concerned eyes. He was about 30, with dark hair, a mustache, and a face weathered from the sun. Despite the harsh weather, he was clean-shaven, and his eyes were kind. "Name's Jackson Jack Thornton," he said, pulling off his gloves. "I own the Double T Ranch about 20 miles north of here. I was heading home when I saw you." He noticed her medical bag. "Are you a doctor, miss?" "A nice," Libby managed to say. "Elizabeth Montgomery from Philadelphia." Jack's eyes widened. A trained nurse was rarer than gold in this territory. "Miss Montgomery, you're going to freeze to death if you stay here much longer," he said, his voice filled with concern. "The storm's getting worse, and this station isn't heated. Please, let me take you somewhere warm." Libby looked at him with a mix of hope and weariness. She was desperate, and something about Jack Thornton seemed different from the men she'd known. I don't have money for a hotel," she whispered. "That's not your concern," Jack said firmly. "Getting you warm and fed is what matters."